Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Monday, the last day in September the 30th. Now, today we'll be talking about extreme weather hitting the region, tax obligations or lack thereof for elite visa holders, and the all-new convenience at Thailand's top convenience store. But first, we're going to start with our main story, and that's that PETA, the animal rights organization, is accusing the Thai zoo of exploiting baby Hippo Moo Deng for profit. PETA has accused Thailand's Khao Khiao Zoo of exploiting Moo Deng, a baby pygmy hippo turned TikTok sensation, for profit. They argue that she belongs in the wild, not in captivity for entertainment. The zoo denies any mistreatment, warning visitors to respect the animals or face legal action. Moo Deng's popularity has significantly boosted zoo revenue and sparked merchandise sales. However, some commentators disagree with PETA, stating that the zoo is contributing to the conservation of endangered species, native to West Africa, with only around 2,500 left of pygmy hippos in the wild. Well, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this story. I'm pretty sure I don't agree with PETA on this, as I typically don't when it comes to their animal rights activities. Look, it seems like PETA as an organization is more concerned with guilting organizations or people into behaving in better ways, while they themselves are not actually taking significant steps for the equal treatment of animals. You hear all sorts of crazy stories about their rescue programs basically being euthanasia farms, things like that. And now in this case, this baby hippo has taken the world by storm. The zoo takes absolutely amazing care for it. It is an endangered species, so these animals are not faring that well in the wild. So these are conservation programs that are meant to help rebuild the population. But I am curious your thoughts on, does PETA have a leg to stand on in this argument, or should they just mind their own business and let everybody enjoy the internet's latest sensation, Moo Deng? Yeah, certainly there's a lot of profit making off of this, but I think, if the zoo's doing the right thing and contributing to conservation efforts, then that money's probably going to a good place. Tell me your thoughts, everybody. I'm curious to know. All right, moving on to our next story. Now, the Khen police have stopped an illegal street race. Was that you, Jason? Police in Khen intercepted a group of motorcyclists racing on the Ram Intra Road, organized via Facebook. The riders were performing dangerous stunts, including wheelies, when police arrived around 2 a.m. Although many fled, officers apprehended 22-year-old Adisak and his unregistered Honda Lead motorcycle. Adisak admitted to arranging the race to showcase riding skills with friends. Police have seized the motorcycle and are proceeding with legal actions against him. Well, he is the organizer, so I guess the ringleader is the one that should be facing the consequences. Didn't look like it was too out of control, but at the same time, there's got to be a better outlet, right, for people to be able to do these sort of more dangerous stunts, this more dangerous racing activity. Head to the race, right? Head to somewhere where there's a little bit more, you're enclosed, you're not at risk of, running over pedestrians or getting into bigger car accidents. But yeah, any daredevils in the house? Let me know if you're in the comments and how you feel about this story. What would be the better alternative for these motorcycle riders? Because they sure do like to make themselves a public nuisance, don't they, Jason? He says no. He remains silent. All right, fine. That is a guilty silence if I've ever heard one. All right, moving on to our next story. So we got the weather. It's frightful. Heavy rain and strong winds are set to hit 38 Thai provinces. The Thai Meteorological Department has warned of heavy rain and strong winds hitting 38 provinces throughout the week due to a weakening southwest monsoon and a low-pressure system over northern Vietnam. Northeastern provinces are particularly at risk, and sailors are advised to avoid rough conditions at sea. Thunderstorms and rain are expected across northern, northeastern, central, and eastern and southern, I think we've touched them all, Thailand. Temperatures will drop by 1 to 3 degrees Celsius in the northeast after October 3rd due to a cold air mass from China. Residents are urged to take precautions during this period of unstable weather. Well, we've seen it a lot all across the north. The floods have been coming in big time, and it seems like the infrastructure is still not up to snuff to be able to deal with these monsoons that keep coming in every year. Bangkok, right now, we are looking at an incredibly blue sky. That is subject to change at a moment's notice. So everybody do be careful, get your sandbags ready, and be prepared if you are in the more rural areas of Thailand, especially in low-lying elevations for, what we all know is going to be coming, the floods. Be careful, take care of yourselves, and don't become a statistic. Just be prepared. Okay, moving on to some economic news here in Thailand. Now, Thailand's business ease ranking has dropped in the Asia-Pacific region. So Thailand's ranking for business ease in the Asia-Pacific region has dropped from 9th place in 2022 to 12th in 2023, according to a survey by the Asia Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association. The survey assessed market development, operating environment, and regulatory framework across 13 economies, with Singapore ranking first. No surprises there. Thailand's decline reflects challenges in competitiveness and cost efficiency, though it maintains strengths in payment infrastructure and regulatory flexibility. It's a funny word for how things go in South Pacific. Anyways, with only 40% of businesses planning to expand in their region, Thailand faces increasing difficulties for future business growth. So a big part of this is also the rising cost of the Thai baht, which makes it more prohibitive for international businesses to make those investments because it now costs more. I mean, before you make investment in the country, you have to buy the currency. And as that continues to grow, right, the demand for the currency grows, the value of it grows, which prohibits further future investment. So that's what Thailand is struggling with right now. There's been a major slump in the Thai economy. The stock market is down a lot. With the economy, this is always a push and pull, a give and take. Hopefully, as things bottom out, there will be a rebound. The Thai baht should lose value in the future, and that should reignite some investment. But for now, trending in the wrong direction, especially in such a highly competitive region as the ASEAN region, where there are plenty of countries that are developing and make it attractive for foreign investors to come and open up shop. Places like Vietnam, Philippines, of course, Singapore, Switzerland of the East. A lot of sketchy, shady financial stuff always happening out of Singapore. Makes it very attractive for multinationals to come and park their money there, which leads to a lot of money to play with for the Singaporeans. But, we'll see if the current government, the PETA party, is able to put things back on track and get the economy pumping again. Okay, moving on to our next story. I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually elite holder visas here in Thailand. That is obviously the most convenient of all of the visas, but there is some uncertainty surrounding tax obligations for Thai elite visa holders. Is your money safe? Speculation has arisen that holders of Thailand's elite visa might be exempt from new tax rules requiring taxation of overseas income sent to Thailand. A webinar attendee suggested elite visa holders may not need a tax number, similar to long-term residence visa holders. However, a group moderator clarified that the information came from a PowerPoint, not an official Thai Revenue Department document. The TRD's new tax rule applies to most tax residents, but excludes LTR visa holders. Official clarification is expected before the 2024 tax year begins. Feel like that would be kind of messed up. Right, like so many of the long-term holder visas, like me and other people who are working here in Thailand, are on the hook for overseas income, whatever form that may take. But the elite visa holders might be exempt. Rich get richer, don't they? I'm not sure how this is going to play out, so we're still awaiting clarification from the actual visa department of Thailand. So we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on this one for you because heading into the new tax year, a lot of clarifications are going to be needed about what exactly is the tax burden for us Farangs here in Thailand. Obviously, one of the big problems, allegedly, is that people come into work in Thailand on all sorts of visas that they're not supposed to be working on, which means that they're not paying taxes directly on the income that they are earning here. And a lot of people are upset about the Thai government trying to tax income earned in other countries, not something that a lot of other countries do. America has weird rules about this too. You are not taxed up to a certain income bracket as long as you live outside of the country a certain amount of the year. But if you do earn over that, then all of a sudden you're on the hook. It seems like Thailand is just, trying to get their hands on the extensive cash flow that so many Pharangs are using, right? Lots of people come to Thailand to retire because they have their cash flows established in the West, where it makes them a lot of money, and then the money goes so much further here in Thailand. That's a normal route for retirees and other people coming to the land of smiles. But yeah, what do you think? Should we be on the hook for our income in other countries? Does Thailand have a right to this money? They're going to be taking it anyways. And then what about the elite visa holders? Should they be exempt? Should they be stuck down here with the rest of us lowly working man Pharangs here in Thailand? All right, moving on. We got our last story for Thailand today. This is the big news over the weekend. I'm late to the game. I should have reported this on Friday, but better late than never. 7-Eleven is introducing PromptPay QR code payments nationwide. So 7-Eleven has introduced PromptPay QR payments across 480 branches in Thailand, making cashless transactions easier. Customers can now raise their mobile banking apps to scan and pay, eliminating the need for cash. Yay! The service is officially announced on September 27th through the consumer Facebook page, generating excitement amongst users. Traditional payment methods, including cash, True Money Wallet, and credit cards, and all points, remain available. Although some users believe the service is nationwide, customer service clarified that PromptPay is currently only available at select branches. So, hitting 500 of those branches so far, that is not a whole lot, actually, when it comes to 7-Elevens in Thailand, which number in the thousands. But I imagine that this initial rollout is going to be eventually spread to all 7-Elevens as the system begins operating in the major cities. So I believe this is mostly in Bangkok, Phuket, Pattaya. But yay. This has been a major inconvenience for me because everywhere I go, I pretty much just use my phone for everything. 7-Eleven being the one glaring exception where I have to either use my credit card. They take Apple Pay, which is strange because most places don't. And or cash, which, I'm trying to, I like living in this cashless society. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Are you excited about the new PromptPay things? Is PromptPay the future? Or are we just now all cogs in the giant machine, letting Big Brother operate all of our moves and observe everything that we're doing? I don't know about my conspiracy theorists in the house, but I don't know. I'm sick of trying to fight the future. Just embrace the conveniences, shall we? Moving on to, now that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news, guys. We are heading over to the greater ASEAN region now, where we will unfortunately be talking about extreme weather once again. Now, over the weekend in Indonesia, a landslide killed 15 people at an illegal gold mine. So a landslide triggered by heavy rains at an illegal gold mine on Indonesia's Sumatra Island has killed at least 15 people, with dozens still missing. The disaster occurred in the Solok district of West Sumatra, burying miners as mud slid down the hills. Rescue efforts have been hindered by mudslides, blackouts, and poor communication, with survivors only reachable after a 4-hour trek. Informal mining is common in Indonesia, where miners face hazardous conditions, including landslides, tunnel collapses, and exposure to toxic chemicals like mercury and cyanide. So, tough stuff. Alpha Bravo notes in the comments that a landslide in Nepal killed 100 recently as well. This is a terrible situation of market incentives meets environmental disaster, right? Illegal mining operations exist because, hey, there's gold in them there hills, and poor people know it. So rather than going through the mega conglomerates and the big mining operations, they do it on their own, which in turn bypasses all sorts of safety regulations that would keep them safe from working in those dangerous environments. Still, it seems crazy to me that performing these acts, doing these illegal mining operations during monsoon season of all times, should be enough of a warning, because we do this kind of story, it seems like once a month now we have this kind of story of an illegal mining operation leading to dozens of deaths, and still many unaccounted for in this particular story. But please, stop doing it everybody. I hope the Indonesian authorities are able to reach these remote areas and sort of shut these things down before it turns into a disaster like we're seeing here right now. All right, moving on to our next story. We're heading over to Malaysia for a bit of politics. Now, Malaysia's ruling coalition wins its second straight by-election. That's right, Malaysia's ruling coalition, led by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, achieved a decisive by-election victory in Johor's Mokota constituency, winning 79% of the vote. The win, Anwar's second consecutive electoral success, reflects growing public support for his unity government, formed with former rival Barisan Nasional. The result bolsters Anwar's political stability after years of leadership changes and may encourage him to implement key reforms, including ending blanket petrol subsidies. With a strong economy and opposition struggles, Anwar is poised to unveil his 2025 spending plan to reduce Malaysia's fiscal deficit. This guy is on a tear right now. Anwar Ibrahim is having tons of success in Malaysia's electoral process. Of course, they've recently been going through a major scandal with their child trafficking ring for a major Muslim-led business conglomerate, multinational. So the crackdown on that and the ability to end that operation and arrest very high-level people has been contributing to his popularity as well. So this has been a by-election, not a real election. So a by-election is more specific, right, for like one single constituency. But seeing a 79% take on the vote over there is definitely good news for him. You almost never see that in anything democratic. Usually we're swinging in that 40 to 60% range, right? So this shows that he is an incredibly popular leader heading into a very strong economy and an opposition that seems to be in tatters and unable to pose any sort of real threat to his hold on power. We'll see how it plays out. And you know how it goes with popular leaders. That popularity only lasts a certain amount of time before people find something to get upset about. Time will tell. We've got more typhoon news coming to the region. Typhoon Krathon is likely to make landfall in Taiwan and the Philippines, as well as later China. Typhoon Krathon is intensifying and more likely to make landfall in Taiwan, according to the Central Weather Administration over there. As of Sunday afternoon, the storm was 430 kilometers southeast of Taiwan's southern tip and moving west-northwest with winds up to 155 kilometers per hour. A northward turn is expected by Tuesday, with potential landfall in the Pingtung County. Heavy rain is forecast for northern and eastern Taiwan, with potential rain on Monday. A land warning could be issued soon, landslide warning. And authorities are urging residents to avoid coastal and mountainous areas due to potential floods. Several ferry services and national park areas have been closed as a result. That is terrifying stuff. So we were talking about the hurricanes over in the east coast of America. Now China's east coast, as well as Taiwan and the Philippines, will be bearing the brunt of this particularly strong typhoon as well. So if you're in those regions, definitely hunker down. I was just in Taiwan, made some friends over there. I will be thinking about them as they weather this storm, which is, I think it's the equivalent of a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane as we know them in the States, with the potential to build even larger. So be careful if you're in the region and be prepared. This kind of stuff is becoming all too frequent. So batten down the hatches, everybody. All right, let me wrap up the show, then I'll get into the comments. Yes, it is a weather-heavy news today. Can't predict the weather. I'm not playing God over here. But that'll do it, guys, for our news from around Thailand. You can always go to thetiger.com for more news updates throughout the day. We publish about, 40, 50 articles a day, where our content writers are always busy at work. You only see a fraction of what they do here on the show. Also, keep the conversation going, everybody, over at ASEANnow.com. You could sign up. You can join the conversation. You can see what's going on, actually. Like, tons of people post about whatever activities are going on around Thailand and the greater area. So that's a good way to stay in touch and informed about what the culture is looking like around here. That'll do it for today. I'll get into the comments right now just to say goodbye to you guys before I head out into Monday.